Good day once again. My name is Graphics. Now I'll be going into differentiation to explain the concept behind differentiation. Now we know very well that if I have my y equals to what? Xn, right? We say y is a function of x. So whenever we're differentiating y, we differentiate y with respect to what? X. So once I place my dy all over what? The x, is that taken? It means that I'll write down my xn back, that taken, and I will take my n to the front and I'll subtract 1. It shows that what? I have differentiated. This is the general formula for what? Differentiation. For example, if I have y is equals to what? 2x squared. Y we say is the function of x, right? So I'm differentiating y with respect to what? X. And this will give me, I'll write my 2x squared back. I'll bring the 2 in front of it to multiply this, and I'll subtract 1 to show that I brought the 2 down. And this will give me 2 times 2, that will be 4. X raised to what? 1, which is saying 4x. Now, what I want to understand, I can rewrite this again as saying f of x equals to what? Xn. Because y we say is the function of x. So if I wrote function of x, it is what? Y. They are the same thing. So I can easily say my f prime of x means I'm saying my dy over what? Dx. And that will give me xn minus 1, then n here. Please don't get confused when you see this. So either I put y, either I put y, a function of x, right? Either I put y or I put my f of x. Is the same thing. I can also put this way by saying my f of x is equals to what? 2x squared. So if I want to differentiate to be f prime of x, that will give me what? 2 times 2x2 minus 1. That means I'm rewriting this again. So this will give me 4x. So it's the same thing. So don't get it confused. Now, if they now said second derivative, that means I have to differentiate again. So what will I do? I'll put the square y all over what? The x squared. Meaning that what? I am differentiating it again. So I'm differentiating the answer again. So that means if you differentiate it, I'm having my 4x1, right? So the 1 will come to the front of 4 to multiply it, and I'll subtract 1. And this will give me what? 1 times 4 is 4. X, 1 minus 1 is what? 0. Mind you, the only one carrying the 0 is the x. And n raised power 0 is 1. So I'm having 4 times 1. And that will give me what? 4. Are we good? So if I want to do this now, it will be f prime of x. Means I'm doing the square y over the x square. And this is going to give me what? 4x, right? This is 1 here. I bring the 1 in front, just like what I did the other time. Minus 1. And this will give me what? 4x0, which is saying 4 times 1, which is saying what? 4. So I'm just making you understand the difference between these two. There's no difference, it's just the same thing. Now, if I'm doing it the third time, we know my answer is the square y. If I want to do the third time now, I will say that what? The cube y over what? The s cube. And that will give me, now this is for whenever you are differentiating a constant, you'll be having what? 0. So if I differentiate from 1 to 1 billion to infinity, as far as the constant, there's no variable close to it. It is what? 0. So that means I'll say I'm having my f prime of x, and that'll be what? 0. Because y, the square y over the s square is 4. That is 0 here, and so on and so forth. Are you with me? Now let's move further and see what is going to happen here. You just have to know this. Now we'll be taking them one by one. Now look at this. Example 2. If I have y is equals to sine x, start taking. It is stated by saying f of x is equals to what? Sine x, because y is a function of x. So if I put the y over the x, when you differentiate sine x, you'll be having cos x. If I put f prime of x, I'll be having what? Cos x. So it's the same thing. I'm just comparing them so you see the difference. Now also, if I differentiate this again, if I have the square y all over the x square, means I'm doing this again. So if I differentiate cos x, I'll be having minus sine x, right? So if I have f prime prime of x to give me minus sine x. Also, if I do it again, if I'm moving the cube y over the s cube, now there's already a minus there already. So if I differentiate sine x again, what will I have? I'll have cos x, right? Now that means my f prime 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 of x will give me what? Minus cos x. Let's go one more round again. Let's see how it goes. So if I move again, I have d4y over what? The x4. Now if I differentiate, now look at this. I'm having a minus before. This, then if you differentiate cos x, you also be having minus sine x. Is that taken? And minus times minus will give you what? Plus. So we're having sine x. Now if you differentiate this again, f prime prime fiv of x will give me, the minus is there like I said earlier. If you differentiate cos x, we'll be having minus sine x. Minus times minus is plus. So we're having sine x to be our answer. Please note that. Thank you.